Hey, Erica Serwin here from Pink Bucker Designs. I have a beautiful card to show you today. It features the Bright Baubles bundle. This time I am using the stamped image. There's lots of options here for ornaments. You've got several different die cut options, and then you've got two beautiful stamped images as well. This card uses this one, and we're going to use my favorite polished pink. And on the inside, we're using a different stamp set. I love Holly Jolly Wishes, and I just love that fa la 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 sentiment, so we're going to use that on the inside. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is watercolor. We're going to watercolor our bauble, our little ornament, and we're going to do this on watercolor paper. I am going to stamp it in Versamark, which is just a clear sticky ink, and I'm doing it on watercolor paper. And I'm going to take my white embossing powder, and we're going to just scoop it all over. You're not going to really be able to see it too much. Hopefully you guys can see it. Make sure there's no little crystal dust things. What are they called? The little powder, the powders. Make sure they're not anywhere they're not supposed to be. If you have some that are sticking where they shouldn't be, which I think I just smeared a few with my finger, blow on it, but also you can take a little paintbrush and brush them out. Now take your heat tool, and it's going to take about 10 or 15 seconds to heat up to the right temperature. And as soon as it does, you're going to see your white embossing powder kind of liquefy and puff up and turn shiny. You definitely can tell a difference when it has begun to activate. You probably want to turn your paper different angles so that you can see it, especially when you're doing it like this white on white. Okay, and you want to make sure that you don't hold your gun, your heat tool, in the same place for too long, because it will scorch and burn your paper, which you don't want to do. All right, let's see. Did we get it all? I think we did. All right. Now, let's see. Let's make sure. Turn it. Make sure it's shiny. Okay. Very good. Now, let's see. I'm going to bring over my grid paper. And we're going to use smoky slate for the little thing at the top, but most of it is going to be polished pink. And there are two ways you can do this. See how I have ink here? I did that by squeezing my ink pad, getting ink there. But I find I also like to take one of my clear blocks and just put ink on that. I feel like it really, I get more that way. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's how I feel. You can do it either way. Now I've got my water painter. You can see I've used yellow the last time, so I'm going to run it clean until I get it nice and cleaned off. Not sure what I used on it last time. You can also run it in your sink. I've got another one here. Let's see how this one looks. I think this may be the one that I used last time. Get it nice and wet. I also like to drop a little bit of that onto the block. I'm going to take my brush just with water and kind of give it a bath. Make it nice and wet all the way around so that that color doesn't absorb immediately into the paper. We want it to kind of spread around and behave like watercolor. All right, now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to start painting my ornament. Now this is called Emboss Resist because the lines that we just embossed are going to resist that color and they're going to stay white. They're going to pop out and you're going to be able to see them. I'm going to do several layers here to get a pretty intense color. You kind of need to wait in between drying times. So for the sake of the video, I will probably use my heat tool to dry it. But to get a really good watercolor look, you're going to want to let it dry on its own. Now, because we got it wet before, it's kind of going to hold that color in too. It's not going to let it go out of the lines. too much from the edge. All right, now here, I'm gonna leave kind of a lighter area right here. This is gonna be kind of the shine mark, okay? All right, now, let's see if I can add, without needing to dry it, I'm gonna add some more color around up here. I think I am gonna need to dry it. So let me do that. All right, we're gonna start with some fresh ink. Get it a little bit wet, squeeze some of that water out of your aqua painter. And I'm gonna do some dark colors up here around the top. I'm gonna kind of make it so that it looks shiny right there in that bottom area, which means we need to make it dark up here because that means the light is shining down from the bottom. Okay. You can squeeze the water to get your ink to spread a little bit more. Okay. Add a little bit of dark there. Like that. I'm gonna squeeze the ink here so that the color will kind of spread into that lighter area. All right, let's get a little bit more. A little bit more dark. This is very addicting. I could just sit here and paint these all day. All right, whoops, I just squeezed a bunch of water. If that happens, just take your paper towel and pick some of that water up. Sometimes I get a little heavy-handed. All right, I think we have reached a pretty good spot. All right, now I just need a little bit of smoky slate, so I can just use what's already in my lid to pick up some of that smoky slate and come over here. You want to be careful not to get these two colors to blend together, so it's probably best to wait until your polished pink is all dry. And another thing I did is I went over this part so that you could see it. Okay, like that. And there we go. All right, now I'm going to set that aside to dry. I probably need a good 10 or 15 minutes. For the sake of the video, I will probably need to use my heat tool, but for now we're going to set it aside. Now we're going to do something else. I have a piece of shimmer white right here, and I want to splatter it with the polished pink. So I'm going to take my aqua painter, or my water painter is what we call them now, and I'm going to flick it. Use something else to just kind of tap it to get some splatter. Okay? All right. Now I think we're done with that. All right, we're going to let that dry as well. All right, I have given them lots of time to dry, so we are ready to cut out. We're going to use this die to cut that out. And then we are using one of our new embossing folders, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's music notes, and that may be the name of it, but I can't remember. Check my blog. Use a link here on YouTube to go back and get that PDF so you'll know exactly what the names are. Okay, so I'm going to take the side that I splattered, and I want the images to be raised on that side. So I have to find the side where they are depressed. They go down, which is the side with the logo. So I'm going to put that, line it up there with that line right there. And whoops, I need my number 4 plate. All you need is 1 and 4 for your embossing folder. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? All right, now we'll put our regular plates back on. And we will cut out our bauble. Now, because this paper got wet, it's a little bit warped. I'm going to use some, my secret weapon, my secret tool. It's Post-it tape, just from the office section of your office store or from Amazon. And I'm going to use it to hold that in place so that when that paper pops up, make sure it's right, it's not going to knock that die off and cut all of our hard work off. Whoops. We got to put the right plates back on. I forgot number 2. You got to have 1, 2, and 3 when you're using our dies. Okay. There we go. Let's move all of that out of the way. And let's see how it looks. The Post-it tape will hold it, but it won't rip it, which is really nice. Because after all that hard work, we don't want it to be ripped. All right, I'm going to take Wink of Stella, and I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to these decorations. It's just going to give our bauble a little more interest. Okay, a little more glitz. Add some here and there. All right. Now I've got this piece, and I'm going to take some of this elegant trim right here. I'm going to use silver, and I just need a little piece. I'm going to take that and stick that on right in the middle with a glue dot. Let's come down. Not a glue dot, a dimensional. Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to take another dimensional and I'm going to wrap it around because we're going to use that dimensional in a minute. This dimensional that's holding it on, we're going to use that one too. We're going to let's put 2 more here. And we will adhere that right there. Okay. Now we need a bow, of course. You could use the gold as well. And I will put this on with a glue dot. Right there. Now I've got a piece of basic black. And we're going to mount this on here with dimensionals. We've already got that one there. We'll take that backing off. And we're going to put this on a basic black mat. There we go. Now I have a basic black card base and my favorite designer series paper from the Pattern Party designer series paper. It is a freebie when you spend over $150. It's one of the things you can choose for free. It's a huge stack of paper. We've got this white piece inside. We'll put that there. And now guess what? More dimensionals. If you know anything about me, you got to know that I love dimensionals and I love gingham. Those are 2 things that you probably know, and pink. So this card just kind of has my name written all over it. All right, I think that needs to be trimmed a little bit. There. Now, let's bring in something you might not think of. These are our cute Halloween embellishments, but guess what? These little stars, the little black stars, go really well here with this. So I think I'll just do 3, maybe. Let's do one like that. And then we will stamp our fa la 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 on the inside. And I think I did black last time, but I don't have a black here. So let's just do polished pink. There we go. Fa la 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 la. From Holly Jolly Wishes, that stamp set is. All right, there you go. A beautiful watercolored card, perfect for the holidays, using the beautiful, actually bright, I keep calling it beautiful, but the bright Baubles stamp set and dies. Make sure you click the link here, go back to my blog, grab that free PDF, and check out the other Bright Baubles projects I have as well. Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.